What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 92 of the Foundation First Fitness Show. We are racing on till episode 100. Question of the day. How often are you working out now? And are you working out more now than you were before the quarantine period? I'm really interested to see what people's take on that is. I feel like I've been working out a hell of a lot more, probably because I'm doing like this 11 o'clock thing or 11 a.m. thing with like basically a group of 20 some odd elite hockey players. So that's been really fun for me and really interesting. So definitely taking up a huge chunk of time there. But it's thrown in like, it's really forcing me to be a little bit more consistent with my workouts. So that's what's going on my side. But today we are talking about how to make your workouts more interesting. Home workouts are getting a little bit boring. Everyone's kind of exhausted a lot of the YouTube stuff. If you haven't subscribed to any of the stuff that I spoke about, I think it was episode 88. I spoke about, I'm going to link it above right here. 88, I spoke about, some of the better online platforms to really get it's paid subscriptions, but online platforms to really get solid workouts in, solid routines in. YouTube's great, but it's very hard because a lot of things are not built up progressively. So it's really tricky to if you don't understand the progressiveness of it, YouTube is basically just workouts shot out there. Similar to what I'm doing. I'm basically firing out workouts, or I'm recording the workouts I'm doing with my hockey players, posting it on YouTube. But again, those are very relatively advanced. And if you don't have a strong understanding of the fundamentals, it's very hard to do that. So what I have actually done, for those of you who are listening, if you haven't heard in other episodes, subsequent episodes, is every, Tuesday now, it's supposed to be Monday, but it's Tuesday. I record them on Mondays and post them on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday I'm posting it's my Move Better Monday segment, and I do post the same stuff on Instagram too, so you see a quick snippet of it in IGTV platform. Basically fundamental exercises, and I teach people through a 5-part series on how to really build up and understand how to control the body a bit better, which is going to help you level up your performance. And probably almost take advantage of some of those other YouTube stuff that you're seeing all around from different people. You're going to be able to understand them better, perform them better. And it's almost going to take you from that novice level or intermediate level and take you up a notch. This is something I do with my professional athletes, take them from a novice level up. And even if they are like professional and they are like they're expert level, where they think they're expert level, but they're not really expert level, I still manage to take them up another notch. Just by making them understand and really get a good grip on the fundamentals. So today what we're going to be doing is talking a bit about how you can make those workouts more interesting. Number one, it's straightforward. Master the basics. I've spoken about this in a couple of episodes recently. I'm doing a 5-part series. You guys can check that out on YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to link it up above here as well. I think I can do that. I think I can link twice. If I don't, it's going to be in the description. One of those places. That's number one. Mastering the basics, leveling up your basics is going to drastically improve your ability to perform any type of workout you see online. And that's really what's going to be separating you right now from getting bored of working out because you feel like you're not really making any progress, and being able to really take your game up a notch. Especially when you don't have equipment, because right now, literally, like I've tried buying equipment and it's like sold out for like the next forever. Like I don't know how much longer it's going to take until equipment starts getting back in, but everything was sold out like right out of the gate. So if you don't have much equipment, leveling up your basics is going to be where it's at. It doesn't mean you have to to really when I'm saying leveling up your basics, I mean really starting to understand how to control your body. It's definitely going to help you. Tip number two, mess around with time with retention. A lot of us really just go with reps and rest, so we cut down the rest, which is a good one. And then we cut down or we crank up the number of reps. So you're bringing down the rest time in between sets or in between exercises, and you're cranking up the number of repetitions. So you do more repetitions. And that works in terms of cardio. Okay, so you got to remember there's 2 approaches here. So today I did a workout, and it was really interesting because I asked someone after, I was like, so how was it? Like, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but they didn't have any equipment. Had they brought in equipment with them, like some basically substantial weight, that workout would have been drastically harder. Like it would have been a lot harder because the workout itself was built primarily for, you to use some kind of weight or some substantial weight, substantial load to really be able to crank out a hard workout. If you weren't doing that, the chances that you were going to get that same intensity in that workout, very small. You weren't going to be getting the same result. So that's why I'm saying, if you are doing a workout and if you are trying to really level up that workout and make it more challenging, maybe head in a different direction. Because a lot of the stuff that you'll see on YouTube is very cardio based. It's not saying that that's bad. Again, I'm gonna defend that. I'm gonna bring that up as well, because I don't think that's bad. I think it's just different approaches, so it can change it up for you. Like I said, it's about building creativity. It's not so much about bashing it or not doing it anymore, or what's good or what's bad. It's about changing it up. And when it comes to that stuff, you don't have that resistance. What I like to do is increase time under tension. And it's usually a brutal one, because people would rather just go like intensity, go like jump around, do a lot of reps, less break, whatever. The intensity really comes from that time under tension. That's where you're going to feel a little bit closer to the soreness that you were feeling when you were lifting weights, as opposed to just a cardio workout, feeling a little bit sore, being like, oh, that was brutal. My body's a little exhausted. Here's what I would tell you to do. One of the things I do a lot is, I like to pause at the bottom or pause at the top, depending on the exercise. Basically, pause is the hardest portion of the movement. So if you're doing a squat, you're pausing at the bottom. If you were doing a push-up, you'd pause at the bottom. If you're doing a hip bridge, you would pause at the top, right? Because your butt's coming up. Doing the final, the press range of basically the concentric phase, for those of you who are, finishing off the concentric phase of the exercise and holding it there, or the centric phase for certain exercises. Obviously, I shouldn't have said that. Now I just made it even more confusing. I should have just left that part out completely. The hardest portion of the workout, hardest portion of the exercise, if you hold it and pause, you get two benefits out of there. One, you learn how to create that higher time under tension. That's number one, which is what I spoke about. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You want to make it challenging, go up to 20 seconds. You want to make it easier, 5 seconds. That little bit that you make in difference is going to be drastically important. Number two, the other thing you're going to be getting is you're going to be getting some work on those end range movements. What I mean by end range movements is that's really where a lot of people struggle with exercises, is not being able to go up and down. It's being able to really control the hard portion of the exercise. So when you're doing a push-up, it's really being able to get down to the bottom position and knowing that when you're there, you're under control there. Your head's in a good posture, your core's in a good posture, and then you're moving through. Subsequently, with the hip bridge, right? So when you get up to the top, you're really teaching yourself how to get that nice straight line kind of posture in your hip, which is going to be allowing you to understand how to control that position, which is going to carry over into the other exercise. So you get a two for one there. You get the benefit of understanding hip control, and number two, you get the benefit of having that transition into your squat to improve your squat performance. So time under tension is really great. And the other thing is that it's going to burn like crazy. Anyone that does it, it burns like nuts. Here's the next thing you can do. Time under tension is one. The other way, pausing at the bottom for time under tension is one. The second way to increase time under tension is 1 1/4 reps. So basically, let's say you're doing a lunge. I have to describe this for people that are listening on the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a little bit easier because I'm like drawing it out. I'm going to kind of moving my hand up and down. But if you're listening on the podcast, try to follow along as best you can. When you're doing a 1 1/4 rep, what you can do, or what you'll normally see, is this. You'll start at the top of the position. Let's say you're doing a lunge. You'll start at the top, you'll head down to the bottom. Obviously, your knee is not hitting the ground. Guys, if your knee is hitting the ground when you're doing a lunge, if you keep hitting your knee on the ground when you're doing a lunge, stop it. Don't do that. I can't believe people still do that. It's the most ridiculous thing you can do. Smacking your knee on the ground, you're basically just allowing yourself to develop some kind of scar tissue and some kind of problem there. So many people come in, they're like, I have knee pain. I'm like, do you do lunges? Yes. Do you hit your knee on the ground? Do you do lunges? Yes. Stop doing that. Your knee pain will go away, because all you're doing is creating tension there. So stop that. Number one. Now, let's say you're at the bottom. You've completed a portion of that rep. The bottom, the downward phase. What you're going to do is, instead of going all the way back up, you're going to go down. You're going to pause at the bottom for about 2 seconds. You're going to come up halfway, pause for 2 seconds, go back down, pause for 2 seconds, then finish and come all the way back up for 2 seconds. So you're going down, up a bit, down, all the way up. Okay. What that's doing is that's allowing you to fool around with that bottom phase, and it's allowing you to not cheat the rep. Cheating the rep is one of the fastest ways for us to turn an exercise or turn a workout from, strength-based into cardio-based or strength-based right out the window as a garbage workout, because we're not taking our time through the movement and we're not controlling each phase. That's one of the things I really want people to take away from this podcast. Understanding how to control your body is really important. And that comes with understanding how to control each moment or each phase or each part of the entire range of motion. It's not a power exercise. It's not like you're trying to throw a ball and you have to stop midway to stop it from flying out of your hand. It's when you're doing an exercise like a squat or a lunge or a push-up, really being able to control each phase and be under control at all times. That's what's going to allow you to level up your workout and your workout ability. So the 1 1/4 reps is a really great way to increase that time under tension. The third thing you can do, negatives. Negatives are really, really brutal because it's so hard mentally to do it. It's not so hard mentally to do kind of a pause at the bottom. When you pause at the bottom, the only thing you have to stop yourself from doing is cheating to try to find an easier way out. You're going to shift around to try to find a more comfortable position. That's what you want to avoid. When you're doing a negative, it's a lot of people spend a lot of time through the negative phase of it, but spending it at the easier portion of it. So if you're doing a squat, we'll slow down. We'll take the top portion. We'll take our time getting down. When we get to the bottom, we speed up that movement. What you want to do is actually flip that completely. You want to speed up the movement at the top, and when you get down to the bottom, really slow that thing down. So if you take 10 seconds to drop into your squat, this is assuming you have no weight. You take 10 seconds to drop down into your squat, pause there for a couple seconds, come right back up. You will notice the burn in your legs. That workout will be extremely tough. Negatives are a great way to turn a very simple, basically primitive movement, basic exercise, basic home gym exercise with no equipment into a very challenging exercise. I love doing it. It's one of the fastest ways for me to get a nice burn in when I don't have any equipment around. Let's say I'm at a hotel or something like that, and the gym's either terrible or I just don't feel like leaving the room. I'll definitely get a workout in the room, and it'll be literally just going negatives. The whole time it'll just be a slow drop, quick back up, slow down, quick back up, and it literally will it'll destroy your legs, destroy your upper body very quickly. And the other thing is it really helps you, again, understand how to control each phase of the movement because you're taking so much time to lower yourself in. In terms of and I wanted to touch on that before we end off today. When we talk about the cardio portions, the cardio types of circuits are not bad. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when you do a cardio circuit, what usually happens is our technique kind of goes out the window because we're trying to complete the reps and we're trying to keep up, and we bring down the rest time. So bringing down rest time decreases our focus and makes us almost miss technique a little bit more. It lets it kind of slide out a bit. We kind of slide a little bit on the technique. So what I want you to do is maybe try venturing into the strength stuff and kind of blend and go back and forth and carry some of what you learned from the slow time under tension portion of workouts to go into the cardio based stuff and really start understanding what that looks like. If you want to know how to turn some basic workouts into some harder workouts, I will try to post something. I'm going to have to write this down. I'm going to have to post because I'm never going to remember that. Okay, it's on the notepad. What are we going to call this? Make an Instagram time under tension workout, and same thing on YouTube. I'm going to post that thing on YouTube as well. So for those of you guys listening, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, now is the time to do it. I'm posting a bunch more content on how to work out and routines and training routines. So definitely get on there. You're going to want to be part of that because a lot of stuff is coming out now. I have so much more time to film and edit and do all those things. So a lot of that's coming out. I'm really looking to try to keep all that going when this quarantine period goes away. Probably get a full-time videographer in here to really film and help me build that content out as much as we possibly can, because content is something I really want to go hard on moving forward. So I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So back and forth on the cardio portions and the training portions. And trust me, the difference will be monumental. You will notice a huge difference in your performance and ability to really get a good workout in. It's going to actually start turning the workouts that you thought were pretty easy into a little bit harder. Maybe start getting you to be a little bit more curious about different types of workouts and different types of exercise. And it's going to help you level up your game in terms of movements. So you're going to be able to handle much trickier exercises. And yeah, really start taking it up a notch. So on that note, remember the answer to the question of the day, which was how often are you working out, and are you working out more now than you did before? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, guys, keep building that foundation, and I will see you later. Take care.